What's up, peoples? Whoa, let's do a part two. Yeah. This episode is about, I don't know if you can see it, the motto: Resync Back to Yourself. The part two of where it all began was value your self worth. That's where it starts. If you haven't checked that episode out, go check it out because that's where it starts. This is the extension on how to get back to it and understanding what we live by here at the Zodyac Experience. Resync back to yourself. You have to understand first, summarizing a little bit, that you have to know that you are valuable. You have to know your self worth. You have to know that you have self worth as a whole with the community of humanity. Okay. If you don't know that, then that's where you find yourself. Go back and check the episode out. Find yourself in a lot of situations where you don't feel right. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like doing this. You need a break. Everything just doesn't line up. That's because you're not in alignment with who you really are. See, once you come into the world and you're young and you do what you do, you have all of these, like the sky's the limit. When you're younger, when you're a kid, you're a teenager, you can sleep on the floor and wake up with absolutely no problems. You ain't waking up with no back problems. You can just go. We all have some type of story, if it's a single parent household or bullying, or and it can get much deeper, which I'll spare the details. But it's always something. It's almost like, and I'm not saying it don't exist, but it's almost as if everybody has to have some type of trouble, some type of problems, household problems, social life problems. It's always something. Everybody has that. One of the most commons is split household, divorces, parents. If it's the father not living up to his job or the mother wanting to be a savage. However it may be, everybody have a problem. But at the core of that chaos, you were kind of in a bubble, and yeah, you were dealing with that, understanding the ups and the downs, the happies and the sads, the angers and the enjoyment. There's always a bubble where you were at the best of your capabilities. You can just go, and almost to the point that you thought, I don't necessarily think that you thought you was a superhuman, but you didn't think eating all that bad food, it doesn't matter. I'm skinny, I'm in shape. I can eat whatever I want. My body doesn't work like that. Yeah, at that time, your metabolism is through the roof. It's burning anything that comes through. Yep, I can just go ahead and go to sleep anywhere. It doesn't matter. I can wake up nothing's fine. I don't have no back problems and stuff. Yep, your skeletal system and your muscles is at its function at its best. But as you get older, that stuff starts to catch up with you. All that candy, all that snacks, everything that's been going on starts to catch up with you. Then you start to see what life really is. Then the real world comes out. Then you see how mean it is. Then this bubble, now you having back problems. Now your knee is buckling and you're almost falling trying to get the box of cereal. Now you sit down on the couch and you gotta use both hands just to get up off the bed when you wake up. Like, what in the world's going on? Stuff, as you get older, stuff starts slowing down. And it starts slowing down off of stress, starts building up, your environment, anything that may cause, if you know, my dad wasn't there, my mom wasn't there, however, whatever was going on as you were growing up, that chaos, once you get older, starts to put weight on you. Okay. I mean, it's been putting weight on you, but when you were younger, you were so agile, you were so athletic, you were so, most of us where I know there's situations where health problems could have been an issue as well at a younger age, and then as they get older, it's almost like reverse. If you were having health problems or problems when you're younger, a lot of times you're the one that's in the best shape as you're older. And for the ones that were in the best shape of their life in high school, they're in the worst shape as they get older. When they were in shape at 19, 18, six packs and all of this and no stomachs, and all of a sudden they got the biggest stomach and they have booty do. Meaning your stomach stick out far. Look, we ain't got to go into details. So with all of that, I say that to say this, that we're going to turn this microphone down a little bit here. I say all that to say this, that eventually life will catch up with you. Eventually, when you were living your best life and you had no problems, you had no worries, you didn't worry about no bills, you didn't worry about, you just wanted a cell phone, you just collected everything. It was a collector. Collected all the problems, collect whatever you wanted to collect, you just collected, right? But what ends up happening is you end up not being aware of taking care of yourself, right? And then once real life kicks in, you forget because you were kind of shielded by the environment and the world and job and living and bills and taxes and all this stuff. You were shielded by that. And you thought you can do whatever you want because your body is always going to keep up until it starts changing in your 20s. Especially in college when it has a big turnaround, when all you got is ramen noodles and everything all day, eating all that bread, then you come back with a stomach. It happens. The body starts to catch up. That's why we start with the word resync. You can't see it, it's right here, but we'll do that. That's why we start with the word resync. Okay? It's getting back to how we were when we were younger. It's not just a physical thing. It's also mentally. It's also emotionally, where you really didn't care. You went through emotions, but at the same time, hey, life move on. Right now, this is what you care about. Right? Getting back to the best version of ourselves so we can evolve to an even better version. Right? See, and as you get older, there was a scene. If you ever seen Doctor Strange, the new one is out, but the first Doctor Strange, there was a scene where the lady with no hair, the master that was teaching Doctor Strange to become Doctor Strange, they were both in the hospital. They had a big fight. She got injured, and they kind of went to the hospital with all that stuff, right? But both of them can see, multi dimensions, and their body or their spirit left their bodies, right? Because they can do that. If you haven't seen it, Doctor Strange is strange, but it's pretty cool. They left their bodies and went out to the hospital balcony, and she was saying things about how that's true. Like, it's crazy how we let fear, we let problems, we let all that to distract us for what's really important. And Dr. Strange was like, what are you talking about? What's really important? And she said that it's not about you. And I know me saying that is like, well, what are you talking about? Resync back to yourself if it's not about me. It starts with you, right? That's what the whole mission is, to give the a bigger scope of the bigger picture. It starts with you knowing that you are valuable, you play a part, you are important, right? You are important in humanity, but it's going to take being the best version of yourself to help out the collective of humanity. That part is that you're doing the best version of you, because it's not about you. It's about the totality of humanity by himself. Give you an example. And that's kind of interesting. If I didn't go through all the troubles that I went through, I wouldn't be able to relate to everybody that touched this table. I'm not saying I can relate to every single person, but on the most part of pain, I know what pain looked like. I know where alone being looked like. I know what bullying looks like. I know what being talked about look like. I know what insulting look like. I know body shame. I know how that look feels like. I know all of that. I've experienced it all, and I can go any deeper, but I spare you the details. But when it comes down to it, me finding who I truly am, my purpose in life, my gifts, my talents, and me going through that journey to find that, I realize I know what my purpose is. And the reason for that is to give back and help humanity. My purpose is to teach and to heal. That's what I believe I'm here for. Teach. Here's a podcast giving you the information and knowledge to teach. To heal. Here's the practice where you could come and get a massage. Now add an energy work because it's not about me. It's about making an impact to help you reach the best version of you. That's what I mean. And being scared what people think about me, the videos I put out where people are like, oh my gosh, it's cringy, or however they want to do, not understanding like working on glutes can help your lower back. And if you don't get your glutes and hamstrings worked on, you will always have back problems, period. If you don't understand that, and me trying to show that information, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I've already talked about that. But at the end of the day, the problem, which we also talked about in another episode, episode 7, when I sat down with IWC, is that clients, other therapists, there's so much that is unknown how well massage therapy can help, how well what we can do can be impactful, how well sound energy can help. People, I say sound energy, most likely I know majority of people don't know what I'm talking about. I got a wave drum over there, and I'm pretty sure most people don't know what I'm talking about. I got this essential oils. Soon you're probably going to get this raindrop technique, right? Essential oils starting in there, and eventually I know most people probably don't know what I'm talking about because there's so much of the uneducated mindset that's not being discussed, is not being taught of natural healing that I have been exposed to. It's like, why are we not doing this? Not to replace hospitals, but to add an alternative to help keep us out of the hospitals. The specialized of the hospitals is to do surgery and give you a pill. A lot of stuff, and that's just to mask the problem. But we handle the problems at hand. Us, chiropractors, natural healers, natural facilitators, however you want to put it, we're here to help you naturally deal with the problem instead of taking the batteries out of the smoke detector and leaving the fire. We'll rather deal with the fire than just being annoyed with the batteries of the smoke detector. Because if you take the batteries of the smoke detector out, the fire is still there. But if you deal with the fire, this batteries of the smoke detector, which is pain, which is informing you that something is wrong that needs to be dealt with, and you deal with the problem, guess what? You don't need to be alarmed because there's no longer a problem, right? So the whole idea of resyncing back to yourself to get to that point, to be the best version of you, for you to feel amazing, for you to feel at peace, for you to live and enjoy every day of your life, starts with you discovering yourself. There's 3 ways to get there, because once you have these 3, then and only then you will have something to offer. And I'm not saying you're not important, but what's important is discovering you first, because it's not about you. It's about humanity as a whole. It's about us working together. It's about us accomplishing goals together and playing a part of this whole system of mankind, or humanity. I keep it in humanity, playing a whole system to be the best version of us that we can be. That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Not just that's just looking good, we doing good, we all this and all that or whatever. It's about being our best versions of ourselves and offering that to the whole. But we have to start at the foundation, at the little bit right here. And the only way to do that is to resync back to yourself. Emotionally being happy or at peace, because happiness and sadness, enjoyment, all that good and bad are both going to happen. But if you at peace, then you know how to operate through chaos. Because no matter up and down, you're at peace, and peace is consistent. Happiness is not. You can be happy if somebody step on your foot. Next thing you know, you got an attitude. You can be happy that you just won the lottery, but let somebody cut you off driving to work. Oh, you're gonna have it's gonna happen. It's the emotion that goes around, but being at peace with yourself, being at peace with where you are in life, that's the goal to get to. How to get there? 3 ways. One is to open your mind. Don't be afraid to relearn what you thought you already learned. Start at the beginning. We all have trials and tribulations. We all been through. We all got some type of past. You're not the only one. I am not the only one. We all have been bullied in some type of way. We all have been taken advantage of in some type of way, etc., etc. We all have it. Even the richest people in the world are miserable. We all have it. So, if we all have it, how do we get past it? Accepting that term. Then, once you accept, like, okay, we all got that. That's what I got to work with. That's the dirt that's around me. This is how flowers, if you want to be a gardener and everything, you have to go down to the dirt, the problem, the dark place, the dark energy, or however you want to do it. You have to go down there. But the idea is to be the best version of yourself, keep climbing up, and then eventually you start to see sunlight. Eventually, speaking in plant terms, it's eventually you start to see the rain and everything that you need to blossom and be who you are, to play a beautiful role, if you're a rose or a flower, however, a part of all the other nature. If it's a tree, if it's whatever, if it's a bush, I don't care what it is for you to play. That's just me being silly a little bit. But open your mind. Look within, not out. Don't compare what you see. Find you in here and here. That's where it starts. That's number one. Open your mind. If you don't know where to start going on an adventure, go do stuff that you never done before. Discover stuff you never discovered. Visit where you never visit. Go see the world. Go see what you do like and what you don't like. And pay attention to what you naturally gravitate to. That's how you find it. Anything that it feels natural, or because a lot of times things that feel natural is unconscious. Not saying you're unconscious, but saying that you're not consciously thinking about it. And if you're not consciously thinking about it, because it's natural, you're aligned with that. That's what you need to pay attention to. If you're naturally like taking pictures of yourself or whatever, maybe you're a photographer. If you're naturally like traveling, seeing the world, and it's like, oh, I can do this forever, maybe you're a traveler. If you're naturally like working with numbers, maybe you're an accountant. I don't know. If you're naturally like building things and creating out of sand and creating sand castles or whatever, maybe you're an architect. I don't know. But that's how you do it. And you can't be aware of it until your mind is open of it, for it. Open your mind. Number one. Number two, create the space available. You have to be available once you open your mind to accept what you learn. That can mean taking out all that nonsense. That can mean emptying all that garbage that we're thinking here and there, whatever, that doesn't need to be there, that's not helping, that's negative, that's whatever. Get rid of it. You don't need it. You have to be available to learn and be in new places, new environments, new experiences. You have to be available to do that. Once you become available to learning, which brings to number three, is a real quick number two, is just being available, being open to it, being available, which once you're available and comprehending it and bringing it in, available and the comprehension, that's two. Bring that in, comprehend it, becomes number three. The last but not least is to apply it. Apply what you learn. Apply what you feel. Become more in tune. That's one of the things that people become aware of having the session here is they become in tune with themselves to the point where they know, oh, my shoulder is starting to have an issue. It's time to get a massage. It's time to go to the Zodyac Experience. But once you have opened yourself up to new experiences, to learn more about looking inward and being available to comprehend what you have experienced, what you've learned, how you find it. Usually that's where around then is when you find it like, oh, I think I'm gonna get into this. Then apply it. Be relentless. Apply it to your actions. Go after it. No matter what, never give up on discovering you and how to be the best you. And it's not just, oh, I found what I am. I like to paint, and that's what it is. Explore it. There's a whole world built off of artistry. Art is just not paint on here. Art is an expression. What I do is art. This is me expressing who I am through massage techniques. That's just an example of art. It's always bigger than what we do, which is why I go back to number one and saying, open your mind. Stop being small minded or closed off. Once you do that, you put yourself in a box. Destroy there is no such thing as a box. Like they say in the Matrix, there is no spoon. Then become available to what you learn. You'll know just in being in tune with yourself and doing and being aware of what you like and how you feel about things, being available, comprehending it is like, yeah, this ain't it. I'm not feeling this, but at least you tried it and you were available and created the space to embrace it. Nah, that's not fitting. Put it back. Keep going. And then once you comprehend it, you kind of got your directions and you see it, you direction as far as like you know what area you're like doing, then apply it. Once you grab it, like, oh, this feels natural to me. This is what I think this is what I do. Read books, learn about numerology if you want, learn about astrology. I don't know, explore, have fun. It's a whole planet. There's a whole earth of a whole bunch of stuff, and it's not going to hurt you being curious. It's not going to hurt you being wanting to experience it for your well-being. As long as the goal is to evolve to be the best version of you and your well-being, if that's working out, understanding what to eat, don't be forced, get diabetes or something, but taking care of yourself. And part of that is self-care, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. And one of those reasons and one of those ways to take care of yourself is self-care. It's right here at the Zodyac Experience, where we help you resync back to yourself. If you're having back problems physically, I can do my best to help you. And I've been having a great turnaround. People have been having great experience, and I've been able to have an impact on people's lives, helping them with, physically, if it's headaches, if it's migraines, if it's back pain, if it's feet, if it's digestive system, whatever it is, I can help physically through natural healing, and you doing self-care to help yourself prolong the session that we do if it's massage. But I know that's not the only thing. There's a mental aspect. There's the emotional aspect. That's where this energy is coming into play. You may have trouble sleeping. Nothing wrong with you physically, but you can't sleep. But I can play these singing bowls, or you maybe something in your mind, your third eye, your intuition, something that you wish you can say that may be bothering you, your throat chakra. You're emotionally distraught, your heart chakra. That's why I'm implementing that into everything, trying to get that going. Because I'm not stopping just at the physical. I'm trying to help you in every aspect I possibly can. One session at a time. That's what makes this different. You see this infinity sign? That's what makes this different. That's what we do. We do everything we possibly can to do what I have discovered for myself, which brings me the best version of myself, of resyncing back to myself, of teaching and healing. Healing is already in the play. More to come. Teaching is already in the play. With the podcast, you all sharing my information, sharing my experiences, my practices, my thoughts, because you never know what I've experienced or what I say or my goals or what I'm doing, whatever it is. You never know how this can help you all. This will help somebody. And if it helps that one person, just one person, then it's all worth it. Then it means the world to know that everything I've done was contributed of being the best version of myself, valuing myself, knowing that how important I am, living my life every day with importance of what I do, was able to help one person. That's one person of the totality of humanity that I was able to push us to forward collectively together. Because like I said before, resync back to yourself, value yourself, because it's not about you. It's about us all. And the only way to push us all forward together is to be the best version of you. With that being said, remember to resync back to yourself. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can get notified on the new uploads to the channel. If you're watching this on my website, thezodiacexperience.com, make sure you join the email list where you can get notified on new episodes or even a chance to join the live show, me and the audience, and even get some cool gear like this jacket and shirt. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, whatever you are, make sure you follow so you can get notified as well. And last but not least, if you're not following me on any of the social platforms, IG, Facebook, TikTok, etc., everything is at the Zodyac Experience. All the links, everything else could be found down below. Appreciate you tuning in. Once again, thank you. And remember to resync back to yourself.